Thank you for question. This is a good question because nowadays we have the one program which already have implemented this system, but this program was with the Coca-Cola project, and they chooses just only one system from this, but it is opportunity to install for different cases each of them. So how we can to do it? We can just consider different regions, and also for appropriate system, in many cases it can be with the surface, because it's not so high cost, and also really easy to operate. It can to high mobility. We can to change capacity, and in this case we can to have what we would like. And also the fourth system is also appropriate, like additional. But in many cases, I think implement in practice in our country, it will be better to use a system with the surface tanks, because of budget is not so high, and the capacity can be changed and by elongating the chains. I think it's this system.
Thank you very much. Your presentation and the paper seems to be very beautiful, actually. Not only suggested or articulate the needs of using or recycling rainfall or fresh water, but also you have suggested very scientifically and specifically the needs and the calculated the needs, and then also suggested very good ways to make use of appropriate technology. So in that sense, things are very beautiful. But I would like to invite other panels to give some remarks on their presentation, if you have any. Okay, Peter? Maybe for the first session, would you like introduce yourself first, then go ahead.
Good morning. I'm Peter Beck with the Asia Foundation. I too really enjoyed your presentation, and I was wondering why you didn't look at alternatives besides rainwater collection, such as desalination. I know your country doesn't have much salt water to desalinate, but I was wondering what made you decide not to really seriously consider that as an alternative for other countries?
Of course, desalination is a good opportunity to have another portion of fresh water. But in many cases, our project was aimed at some specific, for example, for just this technology. It's very interesting to desalinate the water, but it's the big one, and we are supposed to have maybe another project for this purpose. And we are try to have only one way and to review all systems and consider have only this system will be work. Maybe in the future we are going to see how it will be better. But in Kazakhstan, the situation that the percentage of using this technology not so high, unfortunately, and we have some ideas about this in future. Thank you.
Does it suffice your questions? All right. Any other comments from the panelists? If not, why not, they open the floor to raise questions to the presenter.
Yes.
So,
yeah, we'd like to open to the floor. Do you have any questions? Please raise your hand. Okay, up there. Please bring
the gentleman
mic.
first.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to give a big thanks and appreciate your research and work. First, my name is Kiwon. I'm with the Medical School of Yonsei University, Seoul, Korea. The first question, these kind of research are really highly needed, in my personal opinion, especially the hygienes, the personal hygienes are really big matter these days. Example for the crisis of the Ebola virus throughout the world. My question is short. Will this kind of research affect equally to every kind of characteristic land? Because when I have seen the 5th slide, when the graphics were appeared in this slide, your research were based on the conditions of the water in the Kazakhstan only. Is it right? And also, if it is so, the characteristic of water in the land and shore side are really different. And will this kind of system use equally to the places where the water characteristics are really different? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. And of course, all systems they are different, and they aimed at to have more appropriate features for each region, for each place. And in this case, it's the purpose of our project to review, to see which technologies have all world. And in this case, we need to consider it and choose most appropriate for different regions, because their climatic characteristic and the amount of precipitation is different. So it's only for Kazakhstan. It's not equal for each of this system. That's all.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I have seen another lady was raising their hand.
Other questions? The floor. Oh, okay.
All right,
up there.
Ambassador.
Yeah, thank you very much. I just want to make a comment in response to the question raised by UNDP. And the question being raised, I would like to respond to it from the African perspective. Although I really appreciate the things you have said. But the issues were touched by both Ramu and Santon. You find that in many communities, change is reactive, not proactive. And that has been a big issue. And to move in the direction you are saying, it's an issue of governance. And what we've got in Kenya, it has been put in the constitution to fast track. Because if it's not in the constitution, you end up with a lot of arguments and you're not able to progress. So through the constitution, we have done devolution so that it becomes inclusive and the people at any level can participate. And then that way, we can have the good changes we would like to have. Thank you very much.
Not particularly, you don't have. And then any other questions? Yes,
okay.
Gentleman in the middle.
Up there.
First of all, thank you for your presentation. I just wondering if there are any monitoring system or kind of management after the set up the facility.
Sorry, management. What?
I mean the monitoring or how it does work very well or management like that. Yeah. I'm just wondering.
Can you clear your question? Because
after set up that facility, I mean, is there any management guide or systems
for
about
implementation?
It? Yeah.
For implementation, of course, we are consider different points which can to relate to this system, and some management haven't already exist for this, but we have also before the project with the Coca-Cola, and this also going well, and they are going to implement the one of this system. And from this point, for this system, they have management for set up this system in a special region for see how it's work in Almaty region. So.
Right. Time is running up. Probably I have to finalize the presentation with very short remarks. And then despite of the disadvantage of the first presenter, actually you made a very good job. And then you have actually provided very excellent presentation with colorful PowerPoint. And then suggested very good way to provide and then keep waters in semi-arid region like Kazakhstan. So you made a good start, and then that should encourage a lot to the presenters to follow. Thank you very much for your contribution.
Thank you.
All right, please give them a big applause. Now we are going to have a second team. 정지훈, 장은진, 곽민정, 박은송 from Handong Global University in Korea will make a presentation. The title of the paper is Appropriate Technology for Water Quality Improvement in the Perspective of Sustainable Development, the Analysis of Biosand and in Local Context. Please welcome them with a warm round of applause.
First of all, we thank the UNAI for this great opportunity to have a presentation in here, the second UNAI Collegian Research Paper Competition for this Global Development Conference. Before sharing this presentation, I'd like to appreciate on how this research paper changed the way we think of water, especially its significance to development. While researching this project, we were humbled by the life in Naktai Land, the difficulty of development, and the ardent efforts of international society to solve the urgent issue of water resource. In this case, the searching for safe drinking water. So, as you see in this slide, our research paper is about appropriate technology for water quality improvement in the perspective of sustainable development. The blue words in the blue are the keywords in our research paper and the presentation. So we are going to present in this order. And first thing is introduction, which consists of three parts: statement of problem, research objective, and research question. So let me start with the statement of problem. In terms of the beginning of international development, it began with the Marshall Plan for Europe after the Second World War. After the success, it was successful of the Marshall Plan. After the success of the Marshall Plan, the development aid institution reached out to Africa and Asia in the 60s and 70s. Unfortunately, development aid they worked in many regions which used high technology, but it was not workable there. So then, Ernst Friedrich Fritz Schumach came up with the term appropriate technology, and then the term appropriate technology which performed popular within the development society. So, do you know about what is appropriate technology? It is to design to help the local people in developing countries to handle their necessity problem like food, energy, or water, something like that, through their own ability with their regional resources. It sounds that appropriate technology is the perfect formula for development. But unfortunately, not most of appropriate technology project is proven effective in reality. For example, we can see the play pump water system in this picture. It was evaluated as a failed case. As you can see in this picture, children play with the merry-go-round, but it is actually play pump. It works like lifting up groundwater by the energy of children at play. Contrary to the expectation, children cannot always exert their energy in the play pump. As you know, they don't play at one place all the time, right? So we need to learn from this reason why it failed. Like this case, some development projects tend to focus on technology only, but overlook the factors that concern the local economy, its environment, and the social culture. Our team did a research on the BSF project, which is called Biosand Filter Project, which is conducted by Handong Global University students for 3 years. The main objectives of our research are first, to find necessary factors of appropriate technology in the perspective of sustainable development. Second objective is to examine how indigenous people are sustainably involved in the BSF project from its implementation to its management. Finally, we are to offer recommendation to UNAI, participating universities, and to students for future BSF project to be sustainable. So our research are really in the perspective of sustainable development. To meet the objective of this research, we developed one main question and 2 sub-questions, and researched the answer for each. The following section is the literature review. We will see the current crisis in water problem. Next slide, please. So this graph describes the current status of water and sanitation. Through the diligent effort of the international society, many people are now able to get improved water. But however, this graph shows that contrast of ability of getting the improved water between urban area and the rural area. Globally, around 636 million people in rural area still not able to get clean water. Among them, about 180 million people depends on rivers, streams, ponds, or lakes as a source of drinking water, or maybe water, even without filtration. When we think of UN declares that clean water is the essence of sustainable development. So then, this is why BSF is required. Let me explain how this filter has been developed. Since the 19th century, there was slow sand filtration to sanitize water. In 1993, the slow sand filtration was upgraded to biosand filter by Dr. David Mend. As of 2014, it is known that around 10 versions has already been innovated. Then you might be curious about how it works. Please look at the left picture of the slide. This explains how biosand filter works. First, contaminated water is poured into the top of the filter and flows through the diffuser, and then flows through the sand and gravel. And then it flows out to the outlet tube. So the treated water doesn't require the power. It works by gravity. It should take about 1 hour to get 12 to 18 liters of the water. So these procedures include, when you see the last picture of the slide, it is containing mechanical trapping, predation, absorption, and natural death of harmful germs, like before the slide. Previous slide, when you see the pathogens and suspended solids are removed through the biological and physical process of this filter. And then, before we evaluate the BSF project, I'd like to share the basic background information about biosand filter project while which implemented in Nakta Island. So Nakta Island is located